Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. This is Miguel with the series How to Combine the DC Deck Building Sets. This will be the 17th deck profile. In this episode we will be covering Crisis Expansion number 4. In this expansion, the new keyword is Unity. Unity cards become stronger as you play more of them during the game. You can identify them by the word Unity on the right side of the card and a large U in the text. They typically grant a benefit whenever you play a Unity card, including themselves. For example, playing Biometric Exosuit alone gives you +1 power from itself. Later, playing Titans together while the Biometric Exosuit is in play, it gives you +3 power, 2 from Titans together and 1 from Biometric Exosuit. Any additional Unity card played with both in play also gains +3 power plus its own effects. Unity cards benefit from all Unity cards in play, including those controlled by other players. Crisis number 4 also introduced us to Donna Troy, The Flash, Nightwing, Arsenal, Omen, and Tempest. So, for the theme of the main deck, we're going to focus on the older Teen Titans with some generic support that we've seen throughout the sets. For availability, we're pulling from the original set, Heroes Unite, Forever Evil, Teen Titans, Confrontations, Rivals 1, Crisis 1 and 4, and Crossover Pack 1 and 6. For consistency, we'll have the main deck at 130 with 30 heroes, villains, equipment, and superpowers with 10 locations. And now the deck profile. For heroes at cost 2, we have doubles of Katana. Katana is a low cost defense that can be bought in the early game when you cannot buy a kick. At cost 3, we have doubles of High Tech Hero, Daughter of Gotham City, Jericho, and Miss Martian. High Tech Hero supports equipment and superpower builds by increasing in power. Daughter of Gotham City lets you recover up to 2 punch cards from the discard pile for a boost in power. Jericho gives us access to other players' oversized characters through his attack. Miss Martian can give you a mulligan if it's the first card you play during your turn. At cost 4, we have doubles of Wally West, Sonic Siren, Stargirl, Jaime Reyes, and Static. Wally West has the effect Unity Ongoing. Each time a player plays a Unity card, including this one, that player draws a card. Wally West is a great draw engine for everyone with a Unity card and can be controlled with discard effects. Sonic Siren refreshes the lineup, helping to cycle out undesirable cards. Jaime Reyes is a defense card that can put himself into play after defending. Stargirl is a defense card that can draw a card and put a card with cost 1 or greater from the destroyed pile at the bottom of the main deck when defending. This will help the main deck from running out of cards. Static can give you a boost in power and destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. He is here to control the Unity cards you have in play in order to limit who uses them. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Damian Wayne, Coriander, Garfield Logan, and Nightwing. Damian Wayne has the effect +2 power. You may discard any number of ongoing cards you control. Draw a card for each card discarded this way. He is here to give you a boost when you are ready to draw multiple cards on a turn when you really need it. Coriander supports superpower builds by gaining a superpower from the lineup and adding it to your hand. Garfield Logan is an ongoing card that can turn your next played or discarded card into a different card type to fulfill specific card types effects like High Tech Hero and Daughter of Trigon. Nightwing supports equipment builds as he can draw multiple cards if your deck was built with a majority of equipment in mind. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Donna Troy, Omen, Tim Drake, and Dr. Fate. Donna Troy has the effect +3 power defense. You may reveal this card to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card. Then discard this card unless you discard an ongoing card you control. This is a pseudo reveal to defend card because it relies on how many ongoing cards you control in order to keep Donna Troy in your hand. Omen has the effect Unity ongoing. Each time a player plays a Unity card, including this one, that player may destroy a card in their hand or discard pile. Omen is a great destroy engine for everyone with a Unity card and can be controlled with discard effects. Tim Drake supports hero builds by putting a hero from your discard pile into your hand and can gain an equipment from the lineup without losing any power generated. Dr. Fate is a great card to set up future plays and even set up full hands in the mid to late game. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Daughter of Trigon. Daughter of Trigon can reduce the cost of villains and supervillains, making them easier to buy or gain if your deck was built with different card types. At cost 8, we have a single copy of World's Mightiest Mortal. He can generate +5 power and dig into the main deck to bring out more buy options. For villains, at cost 1, we have doubles of Blank. Blank has the effect Unity ongoing. This is the main card you want to be discarding to trigger multiple Unity effects throughout the game. It can also work with discard effects for static and plasmas. At cost 2, we have doubles of Zookeeper. Zookeeper is an ongoing defense card that is low cost, so it can be bought in the early game when you cannot buy a kick. At cost 3, we have singles of Black Manta, Blackbriar Thorn, with doubles of Nightstorm, and Plasmas. Nightstorm has the effect +2 power ongoing. Discard an ongoing card you control and choose a foe to attack. That foe discards a card. This is a great attack for when you want to have multiple ongoings on play. You can always pair this with another attack to make the player vulnerable for a first appearance attack. Remember that you can always choose himself to make the last attack. Black Manta supports equipment builds by helping you get rid of undesirable cards. Blackbriar Thorn does the same thing, but for superpower builds. Plasmas can be a pseudo draw engine each turn as long as you have multiple ongoings in play. At cost 4, we have doubles of Dr. Savannah, Killer Croc, Lady Vic, Phobia, and Killer Frost. Dr. Savannah supports superpower builds by putting a superpower from your discard pile on top of your deck. Killer Croc supports villain builds by increasing in power if you control villains. Lady Vic is an ongoing card with a delayed effect of +2 power, perfect for those turns that you need an extra boost. Phobia can attack and make foes discard a card into any player's discard pile that did not avoid the attack or the attacker. This means that players can pile up on a single player. Killer Frost is here as an attack against locations and can draw one if no foes discard one. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Stone and Granny Goodness with doubles of Mammoth. Stone has the effect +2 power, ongoing. Discard an ongoing card you control and choose a foe. Attack. That foe discards an ongoing card of your choosing. This is a great attack for when you want to have multiple ongoings in play. You can clear a whole player's side if they don't have enough defenses to use. He can discard himself for the final attack, so discard him at last. Granny Goodness can play a hero or villain from the lineup earlier at the cost of not being able to buy them after. Mammoth is a great defense card because when you discard to defend, he can draw 2 cards first and then destroy a starter from your hand or discard pile. This means that you can always wait to see if you draw a starter when you don't have one in your discard pile. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Plague, Despero, Inertia, and Jinx. Plague has the effect +2 power, ongoing. Discard an ongoing card you control. Attack. Each foe gains a weakness. This is a great attack for when you have multiple ongoings in play. You can always pair this with another attack to make a player vulnerable for multiple weaknesses. She can discard herself for the attack when you don't have any other ongoings in play. Despero is a staple card that can draw 2 and attack a player to make them discard a card with cost 1 or greater. Inertia is a good draw engine because it is an ongoing card that can let you draw a card at the cost of discarding one from your hand. Jinx is here as a +1 and draw a card that can attack foes who have Unity/ongoing cards in play to discard. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Mara Al Ghul and Scandal Savage. Mara Al Ghul has the effect +2 power, ongoing. Discard an ongoing card you control, +2 power. This is a very powerful card if left unchecked because it can increase in power very quickly. This main deck focuses more on the Unity cards than the ongoing mechanic, so it's here balanced here rather than mixing it with Teen Titans. Scandal Savage is here as an ongoing defense that can defend up to 4 times before she discards herself. For equipment, at cost 2, we have 2 copies of Biometric Exosuit and Colony Suit. Biometrics Exosuit has the effect Unity, ongoing. Each time a player plays a Unity card, including this one, that player gets +1 power. This is the basic Unity card that can snowball alongside multiple Unity cards in play. You can always limit the use of other players using it by discarding with the effect like Colony Suit. Colony Suit works better as a boost in power when discarding an ongoing card and can serve as a tool to discard Unity cards in order for other players not to use the Unity effects. At cost 3, we have doubles of Water Bearer, Helmet of Fate, and Detonator. Water Bearer has the effect +2 power. You may put the next ongoing card you buy or gain this turn into your hand. This is a great card when you see a Unity card in the lineup to play it as soon as you buy it. Helmet of Fate can mulligan undesirable cards when defending, making you draw a card for each one discarded minus itself. Detonator is an ongoing card with a delayed effect to destroy a card in your discard pile. At cost 4, we have doubles of Ancient Map, Birthday Cake, Skeets, Flight Wings, and Batarang. Ancient Map has the effect ongoing. Once during each of your turns, look at the top card of your deck. You may discard that card. Destroy 2 ancient maps you control. Put each card in your discard pile into your hand. By itself, it works as a discard engine to dig through your deck and leave the good cards on top. With 2 copies, it can work as a big turnaround for a player to gain the lead or keep the lead using the second effect. Birthday Cake has the effect +3 power. Choose a foe. That foe draws a card. This is a double-edged sword in the sense that you can get a boost in power as another player gets to draw a card. You can always choose someone who needs to catch up. Skeet supports hero builds because it can put heroes on top of your deck or into your hand when defending. Flight Wings can put multiple cards on top of your deck that were bought or gained in the turn of playing it. Batarang is a standard defense that is +1 power and draw a card that can also draw a card when defending. At cost 5, we have doubles of Cosmic Staff and Kryptonite. Cosmic Staff is a defense card which discards itself to avoid an attack and gains the bottom card of the main deck. This works in conjunction with Stargirl because she can set up specific cards from the destroyed pile you want to gain with the Cosmic Staff. Kryptonite is a well-designed attack that can give players weaknesses and does not strike players who have too many weaknesses already, just as long as they discard one from their hand. At cost 6, we have doubles of Broadsword and T-Wing. Broadsword is an excellent attack for this main deck because it has a lot of low-cost cards to destroy. T-Wing is here as a catch-up card at the end of the game if you have been collecting different cards with cost 2 or less. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Reach Scarab. Reach Scarab is a great defense card that can draw 2 and put an ongoing card from your discard pile into play to have them ready for the turn. At cost 8, we have a single copy of Power Armor. Power Armor is a good reveal to defend card because it can destroy multiple cards depending on the number of attacks that have been thrown against you. For superpowers, at cost 1, we have 2 copies of Acrobatic Agility. Acrobatic Agility is a low-cost defense card that can be bought in the early game when you cannot afford to buy a kick. At cost 2, we have 2 copies of Vigilant Guard. Vigilant Guard has the effect +1 power, defense. You may discard this card to avoid an attack. You may choose a foe. If you do, that foe also avoids the attack. If you don't choose a foe, draw a card. This is a great low-cost defense that can help another player defend against an attack, and you don't have to choose another player in order to draw a card. At cost 3, we have doubles of Super Speed, Power of the Green, and Telepathy. Super Speed is a standard defense card that can draw a card and draw 2 cards when defending. Power of the Green is here to support locations by putting them into play and gaining power for controlling them. Telepathy is a great draw engine for the turn because you can cycle through unwanted cards to draw into new cards. At cost 4, we have doubles of Canary Cry, Energy Absorption, Geokinesis, Water Control, and Mystic Control. Canary Cry supports villain builds because it can put villains on top of their deck or into their hand when defending. Energy Absorption is a standard card that lets you draw a card, then gives you the option to destroy a card in your hand. Geokinesis is here as another attack against ongoing cards to make the chosen player discard theirs. Water Control is a defense card that can put up to 2 cards with a combined cost of 3 or less. This is a great card to have in this main deck because it has a lot of cost 1 and 2s to buy. Mystic Control is an attack card that can scout the top of foes' decks and discard any cards you don't want to see them use during their turn. At cost 5, we have doubles of Titan's Tower and Warm Embrace. Titan's Together has the effect Unity Ongoing. Each time a player plays a Unity card, including this one, that player gets +2 power. This is a standard Unity card that can snowball alongside multiple Unities in play. You can always limit the use of it by discarding it with effects like Static, Plasmas, or Colony Suit. Warm Embrace has the effect +4 power and choose a foe. That foe may destroy a card in their hand or discard pile. This is a boost in power at the cost of letting the chosen player destroy an unwanted card. You can always choose another player that needs to catch up. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Heat Vision, Mystic Bolts, Possession, and World's Greatest Detective. Heat Vision is a standard destroy card because it can choose between your hand or discard pile while providing +3 power. Mystic Bolts lets you put up to 2 cards with cost 5 or less, but with different costs, from your discard pile into your hand as a way to use previous cards. Possession is here for each foes to reveal their hands and turn their attacks against them. World's Greatest Detective is a reveal to defend card that lets us gain +1 power and draw a card when played. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Speed Force. Speed Force is our lucrative card because it is +2 power and draws 2 cards with no drawbacks. At cost 8, we have a single copy of Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go supports ongoing cards by putting all ongoings from your discard pile into your hand as a way to take the lead or catch up. For locations, at cost 4, we have a single copy of The Rot. The Rot is an early draw engine that can let you draw a card the first time you play a vulnerability or weakness during your turn. At cost 5, we have a single copy of The Watchtower, Arkham Asylum, The Batcave, Fortress of Solitude, Titan's Tower, and Azarath. The Watchtower, Arkham Asylum, The Batcave, Fortress of Solitude are draw engines for their respective card type. The original Titan's Tower is a draw engine for cards with cost 2 or 3. Azarath is an ongoing card that requires you to discard a card in order to attack and make each foe discard a card. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Atlantis and Monument Point. Atlantis can put any card you buy or gain at the top of any player's deck as a way to set up future plays. Monument Point is a draw engine that can let you draw a card the first time you play a punch during your turns. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Infinity Island. Infinity Island has the effect Ongoing. The first time an ongoing card enters your discard pile during each of your turns, you may put it into your hand. This is a great way to reuse Unity or ongoing cards that have been discarded for other effects. This set also introduced personal crisis cards and new impossible mode villains. In my personal opinion, personal crisis cards work a lot better than standard crisis cards because one crisis per player is a lot easier to manage. Crisis Troya and Superboy Prime are the only ones that can give new ones, and Crisis Trigon can interact with them. The Unity keyword could have been introduced a lot sooner with Crossover 6 instead of the rotate mechanic, and I would love to see more cards with the Unity keyword. In closing, that's one way to combine the DC deck building sets. Remember, there's no single correct way to build your deck. These videos are here to inspire ideas and start conversations. What would you change? Do you want more cards with the Unity keyword? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube things. I'll see you on the next one.